Hey everyone, it's Alora and welcome to my channel. So about a month ago I made a video that was talking about how to read more, how to fit more reading into your life, and apparently I'm terrible at taking my own advice because this March wrap-up is slightly embarrassing. Yeah, because I read so few books in March, I'm going to be combining this video with an April TBR, so I'm not just sitting here like, here are the couple of books that I read. Empty space, silence, crickets tweeting in the background. Alrighty, so the first book that I completed in March is 50 Ways to Yay! Transformative Tools for a Whole Lot of Happy by Alexi Panos. Now, I love Alexi Panos' online content. She has these very brief videos that give you a little bit of a kick in the butt for getting your life on track and following your dreams and doing big things with your one life. So I really appreciate her, which is why I was very excited to pick up her book. Essentially, this book has 50 small little lessons and you read one per day, so it takes about a month and a half, and I finished up at the beginning of March. I didn't really like the format of this. A lot of the information was very useful and she's fun, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like there was really a cohesive pattern to the book. I didn't feel like there were sections that were concrete and it didn't really make sense to me. It didn't flow well, but there was a lot of great info in here. So honestly, I would recommend checking her out above checking her book out, if that makes any sense. Ultimately, I ended up only giving this book a 3 out of 5 stars. Which for me is really saying something because I don't like to rate books low. I feel like people put a lot of time and effort into creating something and that should be rewarded and we should be supporting them, so I really hate giving low star ratings, but you know. The second book that I read in March was Winter Song by S.J. Jones. This is a standalone fantasy novel that is kind of a dark, twisted fairy tale type of book. It follows this young girl named Liesel whose sister has been kidnapped by the Goblin King and he's taken her sister into the underground. Now, I did do a full video review on this book that is spoiler free, so I'll leave the link down in the description if you want to check that out and hear all of my thoughts. Overall, I would probably give it about a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I definitely enjoyed the atmospheric writing style, but wasn't a huge fan of the character dynamic. The third book that I read in March was A Torch Against the Night by Saba Tahir, but it's kind of a little bit of a cheat to say that I read it in March because mostly I didn't read it in March. I've been listening to this book on audiobook since January. It's taken me 2 months to read this book. So for those of you who are unaware, the first book in this series was An Ember in the Ashes, and I loved that book last year. It's narrated by Steve West and Fiona Hardingham, and I love them. They are a power audiobook couple. But anyway, this one didn't do it for me. I think that part of it was that I really liked the premise of the first book, and the storyline shifted drastically in the second book. I don't want to give any spoilers away, so I'm really not going to say that much about it, other than the fact that I ended up giving it a 3 stars. The fourth book that I ended up reading in March is Salt to the Sea by Rudis. This one was on my February TBR and I didn't get to it, but I did start reading it this month and really actually quite enjoyed it. This is a piece of historical fiction. Rudis is known for writing YA historical fiction novels, and she has a fantastic writing style. It's very to the point without being stark. What I'm trying to say is that it's not flowery, but it also doesn't feel too minimalistic. It just feels easy to read, which is lovely. Don't get me wrong, I love lyrical books sometimes, but with subject matter such as this, it's really fantastic just to have the story. This book follows 4 main characters. They are all in their teens and they're all coming from different countries during World War II. They end up coalescing onto this one ship called the Wilhelm Gustloff in order to escape the impending Russian invasion. This book is about these 4 characters' journeys, first to the Wilhelm Gustloff and then together when they were on the ship. It is a fantastic look into the lives of people living during World War II, people who were not actually fighting the war, but who were just dealing with the repercussions of all of this violence. And ultimately, it tells the story of the largest maritime disaster in history, which almost no one knows anything about. Without a doubt, I would recommend this book to anyone wanting to get a deeper look into history. 4 out of 5 stars. Now, one of the biggest reasons why I didn't end up reading very much in March, or it doesn't look like I'm reading very much in March, is because I'm actually participating in a beta reading process for another author, and I can't disclose who that is. It's very exciting. I'm super happy to be able to have early access to this book and to give my readerly feedback, but it is taking me a lot of time in addition to my university classes and my work and trying to have a little bit of a social life and, you know, occasionally sleep. Who needs sleep? Anyways, that beta reading process is taking me a very long time and I'm super happy, but also it just means that I don't have very many other books to show you this week, year, month. Wow. Alright, now I'm going to hold you up right here because if you have not yet watched my March book haul and giveaway, I would recommend doing so. The giveaway is still open until April 8th, I believe, whatever that Saturday is. The details for the giveaway are in the description box of that video, so if you want more info, hop on over there. Anyways, a lot of the books that I'm going to read in April are books that I just recently hauled because I'm super excited about them, and I always like to read books that I'm getting fresh, so I don't want to spoil you for that video if you haven't watched it yet. I'll give more detailed descriptions of the books in that video. Without further ado, the first book that I'm planning on reading in April is Hold Your Own by Tempest. This is a short poetry collection. This is the story of the prophet Tiresias, who started out as a blind man and transitioned to becoming a woman. I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Next up we have Packing for Mars by Roach, which is a humorous non-fiction book about the necessities of actually making it to Mars. Like, how do you go to the bathroom when you're in space and all sorts of funny things like that. I haven't actually read any of her books yet, so I'm looking forward to giving her a go. The read that I'm perhaps looking forward to the most is Odd and the Frost Giants by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Chris Rydell. As you know, I absolutely loved The Sleeper and the Spindle, which I read last year, written by the same guy, illustrated by the same guy. Great duo, by the way. Neil Gaiman's writing style is incredibly enchanting, and Chris Rydell's artwork with the pen and ink is so detailed and precise and unexpectedly gorgeous, so I would recommend checking these guys out. So I might actually end up reading this one first. I also have here How to Live a Good Life by Jonathan Fields. Jonathan Fields has his own YouTube channel and podcast. He interviews all of these inspirational people, and then he has combined their knowledge into this one book on how to live well. Because I feel that it's necessary for humans to grow in order to be happy, I'm always on the lookout for new good books to help me figure out better ways to live my life. The final book that I'm going to have on my April TBR here is one that I have to read for school. I have an essay due in mid-April, so I better get on this one ASAP, guys, and that is Beautiful Boy by David Sheff, a father's journey through his son's addiction. This is another non-fiction book that is written by a man whose son went through an alcohol addiction. You probably already know, but I'll tell you again, I am a psychology major with a minor in children's mental health, so this is right up my alley. Okay, so those were the couple of books that I read in March and the books that I'm planning on getting to in April. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said before, definitely make sure to go check out the March book haul and giveaway because it is still open through the 8th. I would love for you to enter that. I hope that everybody is having a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and until next time, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye, guys.